Oh Marie,
Oh Marie,
oh Marie,
oh Marie,
in your arms I'm longing to be.
longing to.
Salt, black pepper, and flour. You mix it together. And you get some Marsala. You get about a cup. It depends how much sauce you want, but we're gonna make a bigger portion. So that's about good. Nice cup right there of Marsala. Then what you're gonna do is.
Chicken Marsala.
What are we making, Nata?
Chicken Marsala.
Chicken Marsala.
Marsala. Le digo Marcela. My name, Marcela.
Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get some chicken bouillon cubes and make some chicken broth. You could buy chicken stock too, but it doesn't matter. The chicken stock. Yeah, I'm gonna make more than this, but for these bouillons, it's 2 cups of water for every bouillon. But I got about 1.5 bouillon, so I'm gonna make about 3 cups of water. Then you need green onions, or what's those onions called, Zach?
Scallions.
No, the other ones. Shallots, or what you're supposed to use, but green onions do good too. So really use shallots. If not, use green onions. It's the same thing. They're all onions, nice and chopped. And then you got a big thing of baby bella mushrooms. And then you want to get a stick of butter and some olive oil. So I'm going to chop this chicken up real thin. You want it nice and thin pieces so it's tender, so it melts in your mouth. So I'll catch you soon when I'm finished chopping up this chicken.
Alright, now.
Alright, so now I got all the chicken cut nice and thin. You want to make sure you got thin pieces so it melts in your mouth and it's real tender when you cut it. You should be able to cut it with a fork and no knife, and it should just fall apart. So nice and thin pieces you want. If you buy a chicken breast and it's a little thick, slice it in half. If it's the real chunky pieces, cut it in thirds or quarters, slice it nice and thin. So now what you want to do is you want to take each chicken breast and you get some flour with salt and pepper, according to whatever you want. You know, if you like more salt, you like more pepper in there. Do whatever you like. I like a lot of pepper. So you don't have to do nothing to the chicken. It's already got some moisture on it. So what you want to do is you want to take each piece of chicken and dip it in the flour. Turn it over. So you got the chicken going like this, nice and coated with some flour. And you're going to do each piece. Nice and even coated. Plenty of flour on there. You don't need no egg, nothing. Because that moisture is going to, from the chicken, the water is going to catch the flour right on it. So that's what you're going to do. I'll see you back soon when I'm finished with this chicken. So now I got my assistant here. She's cooking. She's flouring the chicken breast. So make sure you put plenty on top, like that, and you want to flip it over after, and get both sides nice and even. Nice and coated on each side. So for this chicken Marsala recipe, we got the chicken breaded, right? Now you want to move over here and have a separate pot. This pot is just going to be for the mushrooms, the onions, and the garlic. So I like to use minced garlic. You can use chopped garlic, whatever you like to use. So I take some of this minced garlic, start heating up the oil. Then you add in some garlic. Remember to use olive oil. You want to get the olive oil pretty hot. Add in your garlic, however much you like, but I like to put a decent amount. I love garlic. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna add in your onions. I'm gonna add in a lot today. You don't need this much onions, but we like onions around here. So I'm gonna add in my onions. I'm gonna let those saute up. Once I see everything sauteed up, everything's cooking nice and even, you see the onions start to dissolve a little bit and shrink, then you're gonna add in your mushrooms. You gotta get baby Bella mushrooms. That's the ones you wanna use. You don't wanna use regular mushrooms. You want to use the baby Bella, because these are the good ones. These taste like steak. Best onions right there. I get them pre-cut. If you want to get the whole ones, you cut them up yourself, slice them up nice and thin like this, and you're good to go. So I'll get back with you in a second once this starts to dissolve up, and I'll add in the mushrooms. So now we got the chicken, we got the onions and we got the garlic sauteing up. You want to get them nice and soft like this, so you see everything's not so bulky, it's more shriveled up and in the pan cooking up. Garlic and onions. Now what you want to do is you want to take these baby Bella mushrooms and you want to start adding them in. You don't got to cook them up, too much, not completely. Cook them up enough where you start seeing them shriveling up, just like the onions and the garlic. And then after, you're gonna cook them again in the sauce. So don't worry about it if you're, worrying if they're completely cooked or whatsoever. So now you're gonna let these saute up, and you're gonna mix it all in. Mix it all in, let them get sauteed. Mix it all up, nice. And we'll get back with you once these start to finish cooking. So now we finished with the mushrooms, the onions, and the garlic with the olive oil cooking. We got it nice and cooked up. You don't want to overcook it. And then we take it off the burner and put it to the side. Now we're going to save this for later. Just take it off the burner, cut the heat off, and put it to the side. Now we're heating up some olive oil in a separate pan. I got a big family, so we like to cook a lot of chicken at once, and we make a big Marsala recipe. So I got the olive oil cooking up in the big pan now. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take some garlic, throw it in here. Make sure you keep it nice and stirred up so it doesn't burn. And I got olive oil here. So some garlic, some olive oil in the big pan, because I'm going to cook the chicken in here. Let me add a little bit more olive oil. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a stick of butter. If you're not making too much, then you use a half a stick. If you're going to make a lot for a bunch of people, because we got 5 pounds of chicken right now, so I'll use a whole stick. The butter, it just makes the flavor way better, and it gives it a nice sauce. So I'm going to add a stick of butter in there. I'm going to get it dissolved, and then I'm going to start cooking up the chicken in here. So now I got my butter, my olive oil cooking up right here, and my olive oil, my butter, and my garlic. It's cooking up right there. So now I'm gonna start adding in my chicken. Got the chicken cooking up. I got a real big pan right now, and I got a lot of chicken. So it might take me 2 or 3 times of cooking the chicken. You want the chicken to have a nice golden color. You don't want it like crispy cooked. You want it just a nice white and golden color on the chicken. I'll show you what it looks like. Just give me a second. Once the chicken starts to cook up, I'll get back with you. So I just want to show you guys what's going on here. I got a nice, beautiful color right here. You want to have the chicken a nice golden brown. You don't want it too cooked though. So you see that nice golden color right there, right on the chicken. And once it has that color, you're going to take it off and put it in a plate. Nice, beautiful golden color. Not too brown and not too raw. But you want to basically cook, but not really cook. Because you're going to cook it again in the sauce. Once you start making the sauce, you're going to add it back in with the mushrooms, with everything. But we'll catch back with you in a second. Alright, so now we got all the chicken cooked up. We got a nice golden color. Remember, like I said, you don't got to overcook it. Nice golden color to the chicken. Smelling real good. I got plenty of chicken right here. Right now I got in my pan the butter and the oil from what I was cooking before. Let me turn the heat down a little bit. A little more than halfway. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my Marsala sauce. Marsala wine. And you're going to let that evaporate a little bit because it's alcohol. So you want that Marsala wine to start to evaporate. The alcohol to come out of it. And while that's starting to evaporate, I'm going to take, I got 1 cup of chicken broth here, and I got 2 cups of chicken broth here. I'm going to take my 1 cup of chicken broth, and I'm going to add in some flour to the 1 cup. 2 cups leave alone. I take about 2 big pinches. Maybe 3, 2.5, whatever you like. But I like my gravy nice and thick. So now what I'm going to do is stir this up and beat it. And get that flour mixed in there because this is going to make a thick gravy. See that? It's nice and thick gravy. Maybe I'll take another pinch. I like it real thick, my Marsala sauce. Stir that up. In the 1 cup of chicken broth. And I like to put that in the microwave. Just for about 30 seconds. Just heat it up for about 30 seconds. So now, my Marsala is starting to evaporate. I'm going to stir it up one more time. Getting that alcohol out. But we're going to keep the flavor of the Marsala. Now I'm going to take my 2 cups of chicken broth and I'm going to put it in the Marsala. I'm going to let that cook up. Let me turn the heat back up a little bit. I'm going to let that cook up. Now you got the 2 cups of chicken broth, you got the Marsala, and you got your oil and butter and your garlic that was cooking up originally for the chicken to fry. And that smell, it just smells amazing. And then right here we got our pasta. Water boiling up because we're going to have some nice pasta right there with it. And you don't have to use pasta butter. We love pasta. We take the pasta, and after we finish with the pasta, with the chicken and the marsala, we put the pasta on chicken marsala on top of the pasta. So it's a nice thing going on here. It's a beautiful thing. So we'll catch back with you in a second. I'll be right back with you. All right. So now once you see all the juice and the chicken broth and the marsala start to come together, it starts to jump a little bit to boil. Once it starts to do that, I'm going to take this out of the microwave. I got my flour and my chicken broth here. I'm going to whip it up one more time, get it stirred up nice and good. Then I'm going to add this in. So I add this in. Now I'm going to start to stir this up. See, the flour is going to be real creamy and thick, and you want to get it nice and broken down and get into the sauce. And you can use your judgment. If you think you want your sauce a little thicker, you can always add in a little bit more flour. But I like to smash the flour like this. If you see any clumps forming, just start to smash the flour in there, whatever clumps you see, and get it broken down into the sauce. Like that. So keep doing that. And while it's heating up nice and hot. And once you see the clumps start to dissolve into the sauce, give it a nice stir. And then you can add in your chicken. So you start putting in the chicken you just cooked, start throwing it in there. Add in all your chicken into the sauce, and now the sauce is going to cook the chicken even more. The chicken's basically cooked, but you want to add in your chicken and cook it just so it absorbs the sauce and it cooks fully. And then once you run out of room in your pan, you start adding in the chicken on top of the chicken that's already in there and press it down a little bit. And it'll all get in that sauce and absorb the flavors. And it'll come out real perfect. So don't worry if you run out of a little bit of room in the pan. You're going to give it a nice stir after anyway. See? Chicken's cooking up, and now you start to spin it. So it gets all the sauce on top of every piece. Flip it over, like that. And it's starting to look like a beautiful marsala, chicken marsala. Get every piece coated, and then start laying them flat in there to start cooking. Then, once you got every piece coated with some marsala sauce, you're going to take your mushrooms and your onions. And now we're going to add these in on top. So now we got the mushroom and onions in there. So we're going to mix these around too. Mix these around nice and evenly. Look how beautiful that thing looks. Beautiful sauce, beautiful mushrooms, beautiful chicken. Everything's coming together. And we'll be back with you in a second. We're gonna taste test this and let you know how it is. So now we got here the finished product. We got some chicken marsala, completely done. And we got some beautiful pasta made by my brother. So we like to get the regular plain pasta, but first I'm gonna take a scoop of this. And then the way I like to eat it, I take my chicken marsala, put some sauce on the pasta, with some nice mushrooms. So that's the gravy for that. And then now, take some of this chicken marsala, put it right on top. Now it's time for the taste test. Let's see how it came out. It's perfect. Beautiful thing right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Try it out yourselves and let me know how it is. Comment below. God bless.